Hello, my amazing grade 1 artists. As the weather is getting a little bit more chilly, I thought we could have some fun using our skills of printmaking to create a patterned hat. For our hat, we are going to be using a material called styrofoam. Styrofoam is kind of neat because we can use a tool to press into the foam, creating grooves or an imprint. I've chosen tons of fun winter patterns to create on my hat. That's the first thing that we are going to do together. You will go ahead and get a cutout piece of foam that has a groove already in it for the line of the brim of our hat. Feel how deep that line is, boys and girls. You should be able to have all of your lines feel as deep as the brim of your hat. This will help us so that when we are using our ink and brayer, the ink won't get down into those grooves. First thing though, boys and girls, you will first take a permanent zebra marker or your pencil and write your name and your class on the back of your hat. Flipping your hat over, you can go ahead and create tons of different types of patterns on your hat. But please, boys and girls, no words. No words. Let's stick to the shapes, lines, and patterns that we know so well. If you need a reminder, take a look at the poster along the wall by the window. Since I'm making a winter hat, I think I'm going to also try and add some snowflakes. Here's how I like to make a snowflake. I first draw a plus sign. Remember, when you're using your pencil, press down and rub back and forth with your pencil to make those lines nice and thick. Then I draw a times sign. After I've done that, I can start adding little tiny carrots to the ends of each of those lines. Little triangles without the ends of the triangles. Then go ahead and make some more on the insides of your snowflake. Give that a try, boys and girls. But another simple way is to create something called an asterisk, which is just the basics plus and times sign without the triangles on the tips. Before I finish, boys and girls, there's two more things that I need to do. I need to add a pattern on the brim of my hat to make it look like it's stretchy to fit around my head. For that, I give lines that have a little bit of a curve on the top and the bottom. Make them about 1 finger space away from each other. If they're too close together, they may not print nicely. The second thing I need to do before I say I'm all done is I want to take my pencil and again go over all of my lines one more time to make sure that all of my lines are nice and deep. Remember, our lines should feel just as deep as the brim of your hat. Make sure to go over everything and feel them with your finger. Once you complete drawing all of your patterns onto your hat, including the stretchy band that goes around your head, the next thing we are going to do is apply ink to our hat to do a print. The ink that I'm using is actually from our washable markers that we have used before. We used this same technique when we created our coffee filter butterfly. But I'm going to suggest that when you color your hat, you try to do it in rainbow order or Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Boys and girls, the reason we are going to color in rainbow order, if you choose to do very colorful, is these colors are going to mix together. And when they mix together, we know that colors that are across from each other on the color wheel oftentimes mix to make brown. Ooh. Go ahead and use your markers to color each section of your hat, choosing colors that are next to each other on the color wheel to color next to each other. Once you have finished coloring your hat, you can place your markers off to the side. Take out your piece of paper. You will also need a sponge with water and some tissue. Let me show you how we will transfer our ink down onto our paper. Take your sponge in your water and squeeze out all that water until it's just a little bit damp. Wipe your sponge over your paper until it covers your whole section. Then what I'd like you to do is take a face tissue and lay it down on top of the paper and just tap any extra puddles you have off of your paper. Just a little bit, that's fine. Now let's go ahead and flip over your stamp that has been colored onto your paper. Put it down and don't move it, boys and girls. Hold it with one hand and rub all of the back of your stamp with the other hand. I left a little space on the top of my paper so that when I cut my hat later, I have room for my pom-pom on top, my little tassel. Get all the way to all the edges, rubbing with your whole hand. Oop, I can already start to see some of the ink sneaking out from my stamp. That means that my transfer is working. When I'm done, I can go ahead and lift off my stamp. Wow, that water helped all of my ink go from my stamp onto my paper. For rainbow colors, another method you can use is to choose 3 or 4 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel or are from the same color scheme. So here I have a cool color scheme that I'm going to color my hat and again do one more print. In your packet, you should have 2 pieces of paper. On your stamp, let's go over the steps to transfer our stamp onto our paper one more time. Take your sponge and squeeze it, then rub all over your paper. Take your tissue and lay down a piece of tissue onto your paper. Then pat, 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 just to get any extra puddles of water off of our paper. Those puddles of water will make our ink go crazy all over our paper, taking away those beautiful patterns that we spent so long to design. Place your stamp down, hold with your left hand, and rub with your right hand. This helps the ink encourage it onto our paper. So rub all the parts, even on the edge of your stamp. My cool colors will make my hat look like a nice winter hat. Once you're done rubbing all the parts, go ahead and lift your hat off the paper and you will have your cool color hat. Go ahead and leave your hat somewhere to dry, and next time we will go ahead and arrange them into our winter hat look.